Welcome to Scholastic IQ, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have another great show for you today. But before we get into that great show, let's introduce our great teams. On the bottom, we have Gibault with Allison, Jacob, Drew, and Lane. And on the top, we have Jackson Senior High with Ethan, great name, Tormy, Puma, and Noah. Now, before we get into the questions, let's just do a quick rundown of the rules. We'll start off with some toss-up questions. Each of those will be worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they'll get to move on to a bonus question that's worth 20 points or can be stolen for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get the question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team. So if you're gonna interrupt me, make sure you're right. We all understand the rules? We're all good? All right, let's get into the questions. What composer who depicted the friends Nadir and Zorga in The Pearl Fishers included the Toreador song and Ethan?
Bizet.
Bizet is correct, well done. For your bonus question, pencil and paper ready. What is the value of x if 2/3 of 1/2 x equals 50, given that x must be greater than 50?
$150.
150 is correct, well done. And that'll take us to our next toss-up question. What British poet addressed a still unravished bride of quietness, which delivers the message, beauty is truth, truth, Puma?
Keats.
Keats is correct, well done. For your bonus, in August 2022, the FBI raided what Florida residence of former President Donald Trump as part of an investigation regarding classified documents?
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago is correct, well done. And that'll take us to our next question. What town where an engine house filled with rebels was captured by Robert E. Lee was the site of a federal arsenal raided in 1859 by John Brown? Puma.
Harper's Ferry.
Harper's Ferry is correct, well done. For your bonus, what writer criticized the Soviet prison system in his novel One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich and his nonfiction work The Gulag Archipelago?
Solzhenitsyn.
Solzhenitsyn is correct. I'm assuming that's what you were going for. Yeah, Solzhenitsyn is correct. You guys do not have the pronunciation guide that I have on my questions, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. For the next toss-up, pencil and paper ready. What is the probability that a fair coin flipped 4 times will show head all 4 times? Jacob.
1/16.
1/16 is correct. Well done. Getting Gibault on the board with that one. And for your bonus, what architect who worked with Valdo Milonic on Prague's Dancing House included smooth metal surfaces in his design for Guggenheim's Museum Bilbao? Bilbao. Excuse me.
Right.
Rand is incorrect. Jackson Senior, a chance to steal.
Van der Rohe.
Van der Rohe is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Frank Gehry. Frank Gehry. The next toss-up, what disease, which is unrelated to smallpox, had its first U.S. case since 2013 in 2022, can cause paralysis and may be treated? Drew.
Polio.
Polio is correct. Well done. For your next bonus, what noble gas, which makes up about 1% of Earth's atmosphere, is used with potassium-40 in a common radiometric dating technique?
Helium?
Helium is incorrect. Jackson Senior, the chance to steal.
Argon.
Argon's correct. Hold on. For your next question, what U.S. city, which is home to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, Faneuil Hall, and the Bunker Hill Monument, is the capital of Massachusetts? Tormy.
Boston.
Boston is correct. Well done there. For your bonus, Jesus is, quote, the light of light and a consubstantial with the Father, according to the namesake creed developed at what first ever church council in 325 AD?
Nicene Creed.
Nicene Creed is correct. Well done.
I couldn't remember.
Back to the toss-ups. What procedure often uses beret is stopped at an endpoint when an indicator changes color and is used to find a substance's concentration? Puma.
Titration.
Titration's correct. Well done. For your bonus, English author Robert Graves wrote about 1934 historical novel, or what 1934 historical novel, whose title character describes the reigns of Caligula and other Roman emperors?
I, Claudius.
I, Claudius is correct. Well done. Back to the toss-ups. What personage, whose origin is debated in the Philokae controversy, descended on the apostles on Pentecost and forms the Trinity with God and Jesus?
Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit's correct. Well done. For your bonus, in biology, what term refers to the process of determining the order of nucleotides in a DNA molecule or of amino acids in a protein? You guys are all out of time. Jackson Sr., the chance to steal.
Sequencing.
Sequencing is correct. Well done. So the next toss-up, what economist who stated that, quote, in the long run, we are all dead, argued for deficit spending in The General Theory of Employment? Puma.
Keynes.
John Maynard Keynes is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Greek goddess of discord threw a golden apple marked for the fairest into the wedding of Pleius and Thetis, indirectly sparking the Trojan War?
Hera.
Hera is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to steal.
Eris.
Eris is correct. Well done. For the next question, what landmark is on the Oyan Taipei, lies on tributary of Orinoco in eastern Venezuela, and are the world's highest interrupted waterfalls? Puma.
Angel Falls.
Angel Falls is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what port city in the Donetsk Oblast was the site of a Russian siege that ended in May 2022 after the Ukrainians in the Azovstal steel plant surrendered?
Kaliningrad.
Kaliningrad is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to steal.
Sevastopol.
Sevastopol is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Mariupol, one of the other poles.
Dang.
For the next question, what title character lives near the mouse trainer, Mr. Bobo, and meets an other mother who has buttons? Jacob.
Coraline.
Coraline is correct. Well done. That's a creepy movie, by the way. I don't like that. For your bonus, what colony was formed by the merger of upper and lower portions as recommended by the Durham Report in the years after the Patriots' War of 1837? So you guys are all out of time. Jackson Sr., the chance to steal.
India.
That is incorrect. It is our brothers to the north, the province of Canada, Upper and Lower Canada. For your next toss-up, what organization, the plaintiff in a 1992 case against Robert Casey, was founded by Margaret Sanger? Drew.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2021, the U.S. government created the Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast National Marine Sanctuary in what Great Lake?
Superior.
Lake Superior is incorrect. Jackson, the chance to steal.
Michigan.
Lake Michigan is correct. Well done. Back to the toss-ups. What holiday, which names the 1930 poem by T.S. Eliot, inspired by his conversion to Anglicism, is the day after Mardi Gras and the first day of Lent? Jacob.
Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, what shape is the graph of the equation x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is a constant?
Circle.
Circle is correct. Well done. Back to the toss-ups. What Midwestern state, whose Supreme Court held in 2019 that women had the right to an abortion, upheld that ruling in August 2022 in an August 2022 referendum? Drew.
Kansas.
Kansas is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Mrs. Wilcox tries to leave the title house to Margaret in what E.M. Forster novel, which inspired Matthew Lopez's Tony-winning play, The Inheritance? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. Jackson, the chance to steal.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Howard's End. Howard's End. For your next question, what statesman who declared O tempora o mores, or mores, excuse me, against Catiline and attacked Mark Antony in the Philippics is considered Puma?
Seneca.
Seneca is incorrect. Is considered a model Roman rhetorician. Drew.
Cicero?
Cicero is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2007, historian Drew Gilpin Faust was named the first female president of what university whose endowment, as of 2022, is the largest in the U.S.?
Harvard?
Harvard is correct. Well done. On the next question, what film series in which Haddonfield resident Laurie Strode, Ethan?
Halloween.
Halloween's correct. I think they just recently made a new Halloween movie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, coming out
Halloween
I think, in a
Ends.
few weeks. For your bonus, Terrence Powderly led what early American union that declined after the Haymarket Square bombing?
Steelers Union.
The Steelers Union is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to steal.
Steelworkers.
Steelworkers is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was the Knights of Labor. Knights of Labor. Pretty cool name for a union. Back to the toss-ups. What artwork which shows a hollowed-out tree man and a pair of ears holding a knife in its hellish right panel is a triptych by Hieronymus Bosch? Puma.
The Seven Deadly Sins.
Seven Deadly Sins is incorrect. Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for was the Garden of Earthly Delights. Garden of Earthly Delights. And that will take us to our lightning round.
That's unfortunate.
The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a particular topic. Now, Gibault, since you guys are trailing in this one, you will get to choose your topic first. Your choices are numbers, Hannibal Barca, Dutch-derived words, and double D.
Numbers. We'll choose numbers.
Numbers it is. Numbers, what positive integer is ... All right. I will give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. The closest to pi.
3.
That's correct. The number of sides in a heptagon.
7.
7's correct. A divisor of all even numbers but no odd numbers.
2.
That's correct. The multiplicative identity.
1.
That's correct. The number of degrees in a right angle.
90.
90.
That's correct. The largest perfect cube below 100. You can also pass.
81.
81 is incorrect. The next Fibonacci number after 21.
Pass.
34.
The smallest perfect number.
Pass.
4 factorial.
24.
That's correct. The base of a vigesimal system as used by the Mayans.
Pass.
The next Fibonacci number after 21.
34.
That's correct. The smallest perfect number.
8.
That's incorrect. The base of the vigesimal system as used by the Mayans was 20. And the other one that you guys got incorrect was the largest perfect cube below 100 is not 81, but 64. 64. But still getting 8 questions correct, I believe, unless I have my math wrong. Actually, I think I do have my math wrong, because I think you passed them all. So 7 correct. 70 points. Very well done. And now, Jackson Senior High, your guys' chance to do the lightning round. Your choices are Hannibal Barca, Dutch-derived words, or double D.
Dutch-derived words.
Dutch-derived words it is. Give these English words derived from Dutch. I will give you 60 seconds on the clock and count you down. 3, 2, 1. To transport illicit goods.
Smuggle.
That's correct. A supervisor or lead of a political machine. You can pass as well.
Pass.
To stand around aimlessly.
Loiter.
That's correct. To prepare food in a brine, especially a cucumber.
Pickle.
That's correct. A shoulder-mounted rocket launcher.
Bazooka.
That's correct. A leave of absence, often for soldiers or government workers.
Pass.
A leisure excursion by boat.
Pass.
To stop flow by filling an open hole.
Plug.
That's correct. A breakfast food cooked on a latticed iron.
Waffle.
Waffle's correct. A salad made with shredded cabbage.
Slaw.
Coleslaw is correct. A leave of absence, often for soldiers or government workers.
Pass.
A leisure of excursion by boat.
Cruise.
That's correct. A supervisor or leader of a political machine. Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The supervisor or leader of a political machine was boss.
Wow.
And the leave of absence, often for soldiers or government workers, was furlough, to be furloughed. But still, well done, getting 8 questions correct. And we'll take a look back at our score. It's 290 for Jackson Senior High and 205 for Gibault. So still plenty of time. You still have the back half of the game left to catch up. And when each question's worth 30 points, you're not really that far behind. For your next question, what force names a hypothetical boson with spin 2 is caused by Tormy?
Graviton.
Graviton. What is the name of the force?
Gravity.
Gravity is correct. For your bonus, what quantity whose bond type is about 0.3 for Earth is the ratio of the amount of light reflected by a body to the amount of incident light on it?
Luminosity.
Luminosity is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to see.
Reflectiveness.
Reflectiveness is also incorrect. We were looking for albedo. For your next question, what character uses a poison dress to murder Glauce and escapes in the Chariot of Helios in Euripides' play that depicts her abandonment by Jason? Sorry, you guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for there was Medea. Medea. Not to be confused with the other Medea that's more famous now. For your next toss-up, what brass instrument usually pitched in F can be stopped by putting one's...
French horn.
French horn's correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Illinois governor ran with John Sparkman and Estes Killoffer? I can't speak. In a presidential elections of 1952 and 1956 in which he lost to Dwight Eisenhower.
What was his name?
Killoffer. That's what it is. Killoffer.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Can you say again?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis is incorrect.
Dewey.
Dewey is also incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Adlai Stevenson III.
Of course.
Back to the toss-ups. Which alkaline earth metal replaces calcium in limestone to form dolomite, has a milky white hydroxide, and is found with sulfate in Epsom salt? Noah.
Sodium.
Sodium is incorrect. Jacob.
Potassium.
Potassium is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was magnesium. Back to the toss-ups. What man who gave the blood and iron speech ordered the anti-Catholic Kulturkampf after uniting Germany as the originally Prussian Iron Chancellor? Ethan.
Bismarck.
Otto von Bismarck is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what 4-letter word denotes a typographic measurement of about 4.217 millimeters and a disorder in which people eat non-food items such as soil?
Sour.
Sour is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to steal. Sorry, you guys are all out of time. It's also a measurement on Photoshop, weirdly enough. It's pica. Pica.
Oh.
For your next toss-up, what TV show which generated the spin-offs Private Practice and Station 19 is a long-running ABC drama? Puma.
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy is correct. I can't believe that show's still on. For your bonus, what Polish-British anthropologist studied the Trobriand Islanders in his 1922 book Argonauts of the Western Pacific?
Strauss.
Strauss is incorrect, but you guys were out of time anyways. Gibault, a chance to steal.
Stevens.
Stephen is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Bronislaw Malinowski. Malinowski. The next question. What character tells the sun to go gallop apace so night comes faster? Muses about a rose by any other name, and in a Shakespeare play, Ethan.
Juliet.
Juliet Capulet's correct. Well done. For your bonus, what mountain, which George Bell called a savage mountain that tries to kill you, is the second highest mountain in the world?
K2.
K2 is correct. Well done. For your next question, what quantity is equal for each branch of a parallel circuit is stepped up or down by a transformer and equals current times resistance by Ohm's law? Jacob.
Voltage.
Voltage is correct. Well done.
Oh my god, I should have gotten that.
For your next question, or for your bonus, what Frankish general and mayor of the palace defeated Muslim forces at the Battle of Tours in 732 AD?
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne is incorrect. Jackson Sr., a chance to steal.
Charles the Hammer Martel.
Charles the Hammer Martel is correct. Well done. I like you used even his full nickname, too.
I love that nickname.
It's a cool nickname, for sure. For your toss-up, what city, which lies east of Espoo in the Uusimaa region, is about 50 miles north of Estonia's capital of Tallinn and is the capital of Finland? Tormi.
Helsinki.
Helsinki's correct. Well done. For your bonus, the musical Come From Away centers on the citizens of Gander, Newfoundland, as they help displaced people after what historical event?
The Holocaust.
The Holocaust is incorrect. Gibault, a chance to steal.
Potato famine.
Potato famine is also incorrect. The correct answer was 9/11. Leave it to the Canadians to be helpful once again. For your next toss-up, what title given to Edward of Carnarvon in 1301 and given in September 2022 to Prince William is held by heir Puma?
Prince of Wales.
Prince of Wales is correct. Well done. For your for your bonus, in what poem by Edgar Allan Poe is the title girl killed by, quote, a wind that came out of the cloud by night?
What's her name?
Annabelle Lee.
Annabelle Lee is correct. Well done. For your next question, what type of star will the sun become in about 5 billion years after Tormi?
Red Giant.
Red Giant's correct. Well done. For your bonus, what planet has rings named after Urbain Le Verrier and Johann Galle, both of whom contributed to its discovery in 1846?
Uranus.
Uranus is incorrect. Gibault, the chance to steal.
Neptune?
Neptune is correct. Well done. The next question. What play in which a former resident of Belle Reve moves in with Stanley and Stella Puma?
A Streetcar Named Desire.
Streetcar Named Desire is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the Chisos Mountains are entirely within what national park, which is on the U.S. border with Mexico and is named for a feature of the Rio Grande?
Red.
Red is incorrect. Gibault, the chance to steal.
Big Bend National Park.
Big Bend National Park is correct. Well done, Jacob. Your next question. What South Pacific island home to Henderson Field is the largest of the Solomon Islands and was the site of a bitter 1942 to 1943 World War II battle? Drew.
Midway.
Midway is incorrect. Ethan.
Guadalcanal.
Guadalcanal is correct. Well done, Ethan. For your bonus, what explorer who was employed by King Leopold II and set up trading posts on the Congo River asked a missing missionary, Dr. Livingstone, I presume?
John.
You guys are all out of time. Gibault, the chance to steal.
Cook.
Cook is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Henry Stanley. For your next question, what computing subfield pioneered by David Deutsch is based on principles such as entanglement and superposition? Jacob.
Quantum.
Quantum is correct. Quantum computing. Well done. For your bonus, which Renaissance painter used the technique of chiaroscuro or high contrast in paintings such as The Calling of St. Matthew?
Raphael.
Raphael is incorrect. Jackson Senior, the chance to steal.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo is incorrect. The answer we're looking for was Caravaggio. Caravaggio. And that bell means that we are all out of time for today's episode, so let's take a look at the score. On top, we have Jackson Senior with 440 and Gibault with 245. So Jackson Senior, well done, getting the win there. So that is all the time we have for on today's show. For all of our lovely contestants here today and all the people working hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.